26-year-old Rios and the 32-year-old Alvarado. 1-inch height advantage for Alvarado. Rios made the 140 pounds on our unofficial scales. He rehydrated to 149 pounds. Alvarado came in at 139.8, rehydrated on our unofficial scales to 152 pounds. He is the bigger man, Max Kellerman, as we take a look at the 140-pound weight division.
Well, this division is not only stocked with good fighters, but exciting ones. Danny Garcia, maybe the class of the division after his clean, very exciting knockout of Amir Khan. Juan Manuel Marquez, of course, a future Hall of Famer with the Pacquiao fight coming up for the 4th time. Lamont Peterson won a decision over Khan, but it was tainted. He was found tested positive for PEDs. Lucas Matisse, 2 very controversial close losses. Very exciting fighter. Amir Khan, other than the knockout to Garcia, has been facing and basically beating top guys for a long time now. The Peterson fight notwithstanding. Brandon Rios and Alvarado, you're going to see tonight, bombs away.
Mike Alvarado hails from Thornton, Colorado. Mile High Mike, 33-0 with 23 knockouts. As a kid, found himself in a bit of trouble. In fact, even spent some time in prison. But Mike explains that helped shape who he is today.
I mean, it was just, you know, something I was going through in my life. You know, it was a bad tribulation that I was going through. I just did my time, man. I mean, ain't nobody perfect. You know, I just did what I had to do, and it changed my life. I mean, that was a turning point in my life. Things were headed down the wrong path, and I learned from my mistakes, and I'm moving on with my life, and I'm just trying to be a better role model and a great person, and just live my life. And just, you know, I'm a father. I have 3 girls. And, you know, living my life right and teaching them and raising them and just being a man to them kids is just what I want to be. So I'm ready for it.
Well, Mike Alvarado says, I'm going to make it my fight. Angles, movement, control the action. He just wants to brawl. I'll knock him out.
But then in the next breath, Bob, he says, but if it turns into a slugfest, I'm ready for that, too.
He said he never thought Rios would even take the fight. He said, I couldn't wait to see the fight. He's coming up to 140, and his first toe in the water at 140 is against me. Not even testing the division. Bad move for Brandon Rios, according to Mike Alvarado.
Look, Alvarado, he gets hit. He's got to hit you back. And it would be hard to believe that he could get through a fight with Rios without getting hit.
Comes from a family of wrestlers, a graduate of Skyview High School in Colorado. 32-year-old Mike Alvarado. Says, I love to test the other guy's will. Well, he's got an opponent that's got tremendous will and heart. That's sort of the game of Brandon Rios. And there's the 26-year-old, 30-0, 1 draw, 21 knockouts on his resume. The former lightweight champion. Weight has been a problem for him, but he says not at 140.
My last 2 fights, I was just training just to cut the weight. I wasn't really studying my opponents, who they were and how they fight. This fight is different because I'm actually studying for the opponent and to win the fight and not for the weight no more. That's the big plus from this fight. For John Murray, I went a week without eating, drinking, nothing. Oh man, I looked dead. That was horrible. It's just something that I wish nobody can experience that, what I did.
Brandon Rios.
I feel good right now. I'm like in great spirit right now. Oh man, it's unbelievable. I'm hungry again. I got that desire in my eye to win and be the best.
One thing about Brandon Rios, Bam Bam, he's as honest as they get. He admitted to us after his split decision win in April against Richard Abril that his head had gotten swollen, that he had gotten full of himself, and they had to get back to reality, a reality check. And he says that's happened, and he's really focused tonight.
It's also difficult for him, he says, to get motivated for a guy like Abril. Fighting a fighter like Alvarado, Rios asked for this fight, he said, is a high for him. It's like a drug, fighting another guy who wants to test his will to see what he has.
He told us during the fighter meeting, I've never predicted a knockout, but I'm going to knock him out. Born in Texas, the age of 2, raised in Kansas. Fighting out of Oxnard, California now. 400 amateur bouts under his resume. Scheduled for 10, Brandon Rios and Mike Alvarado. Highly anticipated showdown, and both men are in the ring. Time for the introductions. Let's welcome in Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Home Depot Center, Carson, California, USA, serving the greater metropolitan Los Angeles area, where tonight, Bob Arum's Top Rank is proud to present an evening of world-class professional prize fighting on HBO Boxing After Dark. Sponsored by Tecate Con Carácter. All bouts sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission. The 3 judges at ringside for this first contest will be Max DeLuca, Dr. James Jenkin, and Zachary Young. And inside the ring, in charge of the action at the bell, referee Pat Russell. And now, 2 undefeated KO sluggers. Somebody's has got to go. 10 rounds of boxing. This is for the vacant WBO Latino Championship. 10 rounds in the junior welterweight division. Fighting out of the red corner, wearing white, official weight 140 pounds. As a professional, 30 victories, including 21 knockouts, with only 1 draw on his record, from Oxnard, California, the former WBA lightweight champion of the world, the undefeated Brandon Bam Bam Rios. And fighting out of the blue corner, wearing turquoise with silver and black, officially weighing 139.8 pounds. A perfect professional record, 33 fights, 33 victories, including 23 knockouts. From Thornton, Colorado, the undefeated Mike Mile High Alvarado.
All right, clear ring, 1 guy. Clear ring. You all ready? All right. We define the line right there. There's a good blow, everything above it. There's a good blow, everything above it. WBO, Latino Championship, 10 rounds. Good luck. Touch him up, come out at the bell.
This is supposed to be the Mayweather-Pacquiao of action fights. Let's see if it lives up to the promise.
Stylistically, it makes all the sense in the world.
I never seen 2 guys more happy and anxious before the bell rang.
Round number 1 underway. Alvarado in the aqua blue, Rios in the white. 6 first-round knockouts for Alvarado, 4 for Rios. Alvarado has never been down as an amateur or a professional. Rios down against Joel Ortega in 2006. The left hook in round 1. Well, Alvarado told us that he's going to try to use his angles. He's going to use his jab. He's going to box. Of course, he'll brawl too. Rios took that as a sign of weakness from Alvarado, that he doesn't have the temperament to stay in my kitchen. True or not true?
Well, I don't think it's true. I think that Alvarado believes that he may be one of the better boxers that is in this fight. The reason he says that, though, is because, you know, Brandon Rios doesn't care to box at all. He strictly wants to trade.
Arturo Gatti tried to box Mickey Ward early and had some success. And eventually Ward got through and all bets were off. And it looks as though so far Alvarado is trying to play Gaddy.
Both fighters shoot right hands.
And Rios just landed a pretty good right hand. So all bets may be off here too now.
Now Rios steps in with a left hand to the chin of Alvarado. Oh, and another left hand right on the button.
See blood or redness around Alvarado's eye now.
Watch those heads. Watch your head, Dana.
Good combination from Alvarado. Some of that blocked by Rios. Good right hand to the body by Alvarado.
Alvarado can't keep getting hit by that same left hook from Brandon Rios.
These guys play for keeps. I mean, the punches they're throwing have knockout written all over them.
Rios is funny because he and his trainer Robert Garcia talked about his ability to box, but he says, I'm bored. I can't, because I get tired just trying to box. I might as well brawl. That energizes me.
You see, every time he tries to box, he ends up with a cut.
Right hand slipped in from Rios. There's a right hand from Alvarado.
They both landed some heavy leather this round so far.
That exchange missed by Alvarado. Rios tries to come back. Taps him with a jab.
One thing I like that Rios is doing, though, is he's attacking with his head a little lower than Alvarado is.
Bombs away. Rios and Alvarado.
Reaching with his punches. This shit ain't working right here, okay? It's not working. I need your hands up and stepping around. I'm not trying to get you done. I know. I'm done. Gotcha. Want some water? Yeah, I'm good.
Round two, Mike. Keep working those uppercuts. Adentro. I know you fucking love this. Let's go, all right? Let's go, all right? But keep your hands up high. Chin down, mouth shut, and let's fucking stay on his ass. Back his ass up. 3, 4 punch combinations. Okay. They don't have to be power punches. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. 2, 3 uppercuts at the same time. Let's go. All right? Cerradito, cabrón.
Well, the two combined to throw 190 punches in the first round. Alvarado 100. He landed just 17. Rios 28 of 90, landing 25 of his 73 power shots. Round number 2 underway.
Sounded like Robert Garcia doesn't want Rios loading up on every shot.
Good luck telling him that. Alvarado trying to use his jab. He threw 54 in the first round, landed 7. According to CompuBox.
See both fighters trying to follow instructions. Alvarado trying to work from a distance with the jab. Rios trying to take something off those uppercuts on the inside and land more of them.
Each landed uppercuts there.
But then this happens.
And this is what's gonna happen.
Watch the heads inside.
Chopping right hand from Alvarado. Rios dips away from the left. Good uppercut from Rios.
Alvarado, a very big junior
Right
welterweight.
hand on the button.
Landing a couple of very big junior welterweight right hands. Rios may be finding so far that those shots don't have the same effect on a big guy as they did on a lightweight.
We definitely don't.
Oh, what an uppercut by Alvarado. Winds up with a right.
And Rios just eats it and keeps coming forward.
Still a minute to go in the second. Good body shot by Rios, then doubles the left up to the head. bouncing left from Rios. Again, Alvarado tries to work that jab just to control some distance. But now he's right back into Rios' wheelhouse.
And they say that Rios doesn't have good defense, but I do realize that Rios is moving his head very good left and right when he's on the inside to avoid some of those big punches.
From the outside, Alvarado had some success pot-shotting him, Roy.
Yeah, he does, but because he's a longer-armed fighter.
Rios just landed a good left hand. Alvarado comes right back. Rock'em sock'em robots. Here we go.
That right hook, long right hook he's throwing is a power punch that he's looking for. You
November
gotta stay
17th,
close.
don't miss a big-time matchup in the lightweight division as Antonio DeMarco risks his title belt against the ultra-talented Adrian Broner. Also that night, heavyweight bomber Seth Mitchell takes on Jonathan Banks. Following boxing, our four-part series, 24/7, Pacquiao-Marquez kicks off. We'll begin the run-up to the fourth fight between Manny Pacquiao and Juan Manuel Marquez with a look back at the 3 fights that forged one of boxing's greatest rivalries.
Pick up their hard shots, okay? Jab, feints, everything. Stepping around. And start beating on those fucking arms like we talked about, okay, baby? Beautiful. Hard shot. Beautiful.
Here you see Alvarado landing left uppercut, right hook over the top, followed by a jab and another right hook over the top, and here comes Rios right back with his own right hand.
Well, Alvarado, again, over 100 punches thrown, 26 of 113. And although Rios landed some big shots near the end of the round, Alvarado probably landed more big shots over the balance of the round. Combination from Alvarado, snaps back the head of Rios.
Considering Rios' amateur experience, Alvarado having surprising almost effectiveness boxing him, I feel, Roy.
Well, he having surprising effectiveness because he's using his jab to box. He also has the longer arms. So when Rios is on the end of his punches, of course he's going to have the advantage.
According to CompuBox, Alvarado has thrown 127 jabs through this point of the fight. So he's trying to use some of that boxing.
Rios prefers to be right there, head in chest, and doing battle from the short range.
Where Alvarado also isn't too bad.
No, he's not bad at that either, but as you can tell, Rios is stronger at that than Alvarado is.
Well, we told you that this is a fight that fight fans have been buzzing about since it was made. Look at them in the locker room of Nonito Donaire. They're checking it out, too. Good left hand by Rios.
A good answer by Alvarado.
Roy, is there something stylistically each guy can do to sort of swing the bout a little bit more their way?
At this point, not really.
Or is it just, it is what it is?
It is what it is. This is what you would call an old school dog fight. Fight your fight, tuck your chin, get your hands up, and keep them moving.
Good left hand by Rios inside. Chops the right hand, does Brandon Rios. Left hand again by Rios. Alvarado flicks out the jab. They both rail away with right hands.
Not just the number of shots here. This is brutal. They're both throwing big knockout shots. Not power shots in name, but in force.
Chant of Rios for Brandon Rios. Right hand by Rios again. Short right by Alvarado. Left hand by Rios punctuates the end of the round.
That's 8,000 people making a lot of noise.
Okay? He's fighting. He's fighting. I need both hands. I need your hands up, Mike. I need your hands up. You hear what I'm saying? Hands up, okay? Step around. Where's my feints and where's my arm shots and where's my body shots? That's what I need, okay? You're letting him steal the rounds at the end, okay? You're not getting...
We're in there. A little more head movement. Don't lose your control in your fucking combinations. I want you to set up your combinations. Don't throw wild punches. Those uppercuts are fucking landing. Keep landing those over and over and over and over. All right? It's just a 10-round drill.
What? Right into me. Okay, you stand right there for me. Okay? Adjust. Make the adjustment. Hard shot. Right, mouthpiece in. Make the adjustment. It's already in.
Mike Alvarado, Brandon Rios begin round number 4 as we check in with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
Bob, this fight's brutal. I've got a 2-1, 29-28, Mike Alvarado. And I'll tell you why. The first round, I thought Brandon Rios did real well. He landed more hard shots, more power punches. But, you know, in rounds 2 and 3, Mike Alvarado does the standard stuff. The stuff fighters do. He jabs, double jabs, triple jabs. Then he throws the right hand. Then he throws power punches. On the other hand, Brandon Rios he's just throwing power punches. So the fact that Alvarado's doing what you just saw there, jabbing and setting up the shots, I thought he won rounds 2 and 3. 2-1, Alvarado.
I'll tell you what, Alvarado has been busier. He's thrown over 100 punches in each of the first 3 rounds, 117 in the last round, and he's averaging about 52 jabs thrown per round.
Well, he listened to his corner this round, and he did come out and bang Rios' body a little bit early.
Alvarado's corner also wants him throwing shots at Rios' arms, presumably to wear Rios out for the later rounds. You hit a guy in the biceps enough, it can affect him late in the fight.
Left hand by Rios got in. He stepped in with a right hand power shot. Alvarado tries to turn Rios.
Left hook sent blood flying from Alvarado's mouth.
Good right hand by Alvarado. Set up by his jab.
On the outside, Alvarado's jab is definitely a problem for Rios.
And setting up the right hand very nicely for Alvarado.
Yeah, even though he's only landing on average 6 of 52 in the rounds, it is setting up his power shots, right, Roy?
Yeah, it's setting up his other shots, giving him an opportunity to have options. He can attack up or he can attack down behind that jab. But I'll tell you what, Brandon Rios is one serious inside fighter.
That left hook to the body, Roy.
It's ridiculous. And the one to the head ain't bad.
Left hand as Rios went straight back, ate an uppercut. Chews on a right hand from Alvarado.
Alvarado flying Rios' head a bit there.
He's found an opening behind Rios' left hand with that overhand right.
Alvarado just missed a right cross. Pumps out the jab. Short left from Alvarado. Does it get any better than that after 4?
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. He's already tired. He's starting to take deep breaths and everything. And that's the round I wanted right there.
You're doing great, man, when you can hit and move to the right.
Deep breath. That was your deep breaths.
Right.
Deep breaths.
Move to the right.
You're starting to take over.
You understand? When you take him off balance, he's all yours.
He's tired.
They become punch. You understand?
Tired.
Keep your guard up, man. You're getting busted up.
Coming up, right?
There's one on the outside, bro.
Let's throw a little bit more, my Brandon. I need you to stay more busy.
Brandon,
okay?
I gotta see.
Don't try to get wild. Don't try to do anything different. When he's on the side, throw that three hooks, 2 or 3 hooks, step to your right, and throw those hooks, bam, 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 over and over. Let's get it, Brandon, okay? ¿Cómo siente?
Here you see Mike Alvarado come with a big left hook to the head of Brandon Rios, and very surprisingly, Rios takes it without even having a knee to buckle. Big shots by big fighters.
That right hand behind the hook, as you mentioned, for Alvarado, Roy, that he's finding that opening behind Rios' left hand that seems to be his money punch so far.
Right now, it's been the best and most effective punch for him during the fight.
As we begin round number 5, Carson, California, the Home Depot Center. Bob Papa, Roy Jones, Max Kellerman, Harold Letterman. Ringside HBO's Boxing After Dark. Brandon Rios, Mike Alvarado underway. Round number 5. Still to come, our main event. Donaire against Nishioka.
There it is again. It's the second time he landed it hard this round, Alvarado.
And it's happening all because of that good jab that Alvarado is throwing.
It may come down to who lands first in one of these exchanges. Alvarado with that right hand or Rios with the hook.
Short right inside by Alvarado score. Rios comes back with a hook to the body. Alvarado hooks back to the body with him.
And Alvarado is really starting to tee off with that right hand.
And he looks like the bigger fighter in there.
Well, of course he's the bigger fighter. He's always campaigned at 140. Brandon is just moving up. But you got to give Brandon a whole lot of credit for taking on such a tough competitor at his first time at 140.
And as you mentioned, he has yet to buckle. But I think from the conversation we're having, Alvarado is getting the better of this fight so far.
Well, his size is starting to prevail. You know, he's naturally the bigger fighter, so right now he's starting to have his way a little more. His corner gave him some confidence in that last round. They said now you're starting to make him breathe hard. And it's because he's probably not used to facing somebody quite this big for a long time.
There's a right hand from Alvarado. Well, the other thing is what Alvarado told us part of his game plan is to mix in some boxing, and he's been diligent with his jab to set things up.
Yeah, he has. His jab has been the real key for him so far.
At 135 pounds, when a guy would fight back hard against Rios, Rios knew that left hook could catch him eventually. Here he is catching Alvarado with a left hook hard at times, and Alvarado, too, is not buckling. Wow.
And the head of Rios snapping back and forth from the punches of Alvarado. Rios in a bit of trouble. Alvarado letting power punches go. Now it's time for Rios to go to work. Mano a mano. They go.
Oh, my goodness.
Rios digging in. Alvarado with a right cross. Wow.
You let him back into that round a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I just need you to step around. Everybody's yelling at you to step to the right, okay?
Not stepping to the
Keep your hands up when you step to the right.
To go to the right.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
You punch and you punch and you
Okay? I don't want you to give runs away, me, Brandon, okay? He's starting to land the hard punches. I want you to move your head a little more. Okay. Keep your hands up higher, okay? All right? Keep your hands up higher.
Round 6. Don't load up, though. Got you right here. Round 6.
He's out, bro.
Good, Mike?
He's make openings.
Let me see those fucking legs. Let me see those legs. Let me see those legs. All right?
We're gonna have to all be hard, Brandon. Let's go. Don't give this rounds away, all right? We're halfway through already.
Round number 6 begins for Mike Alvarado and Brandon Rios. Alvarado threw 147 punches in the last round. To put that in perspective, the junior welterweight average is about 60 punches thrown per round.
And they don't throw them like these guys.
And Alvarado creates some space and use that jab again. There it is. Pumps out 3 of them.
I tell you, I like what Alvarado does when he throws 2 or 3 small punches and ends up with the third or fourth punch, a big KO punch.
Good left inside by Alvarado. Thumps the right hand on the chin of Rios.
They're both varying the strength of their blows here, Roy, maybe as much from fatigue as from strategy.
Most of it is from fatigue. Both of these guys are getting very weary. They've had a heck of a pace up until this point of the fight.
Here they go again.
Dropping left from Rios. Alvarado answers back. Couple short lefts from Rios. Right hand from Alvarado scores. Rios blocks some of it. Good left-right combination. Right hand by Rios.
Big right hand by Rios. I think for the first time someone's hurt.
Another right hand from Rios.
Same exact punch.
Left hand from Alvarado. Final seconds of the sixth. Tremendous.
I know he got you a good box. Deep breaths, deep breaths. Deep breaths, deep breaths. Deep breaths.
He's ready for you to go, bro. He's just walking around and clubbing around it. He's got no legs.
He's just mauling, dude. He's pushing on you and laying.
Give it all you got.
And step around when you're done with your combos. Just like we've been working.
Go deep, motherfucker. Saca esos pinches huevos, okay? Let's go, Brandon. Breathe. Let's go, okay, right, man? We got 4 fucking rounds to go. You hear me? Let's go, Brandon. You fucking heard him. You seen it, right? Yeah. Okay, then. Keep working like that. Stay on the inside. Keep throwing your uppercuts. Uppercuts body, uppercuts hooks, uppercuts. Nothing on the outside, because he's catching with the right hook. That's the only punch.
This overhand right over the top of Alvarado's jab by Rios would have veto stamped any 135-pounder on the planet, I believe. What a shot.
The defining punch of round 6. We begin round number 7. Incredibly, neither guy has been down as we check in with Harold Letterman.
Okay, Bob, I've got it 4 rounds to 2. 58, 56, Mike Alvarado. You know, Bob, there's a couple of things he does that I love. Number one, the work rate is unbelievable. I mean, he just keeps punching. The jabs, 3 jabs, and then a right hit. But look at the way he stands. He stands like a southpaw. He gives you half the body to swing at. In other words, he's got that left foot out in front, and he's turned halfway away from Brandon Rios. And you know, it's a good defensive move. A southpaw does that. Gives you half the body to swing at. 4-2, Alvarado.
You know what I like that Alvarado does? He fights like hell, just like Rios.
And he mixes in boxing.
He fights behind his jab, and he's keeping his feet set the whole time.
And that's been the difference in the fight so far.
Yes, it has. Plus the fact that he's the bigger fighter.
Well, while you're enjoying this fight, still to come in our main event, Nonito Donaire puts his 122-pound belts on the line against Toshiaki Nishioka. Nonito going through his preparations as he's ready to step to the ring in our main event.
These guys taking what amounts to a breather for them in this fight so far.
Oh, good overhand.
Right hand over the top. It was a lazy jab from Alvarado, and Rios shoots that right. Alvarado eats the left and right. Another right hand. Rocks Alvarado. Right hand again. And referee Pat Russell steps in and stops it. Just stay right there.
qué es esta ahora? No español, English. No, English. Oh. I'm sorry.
Here you see Brandon Rios land this big overhand right that he had landed a few times in the round before, right on the button. That is the shot that ultimately caused the destruction and demise of Mike Alvarado.
Well, we'll look at it again in real time.
And Brandon is just keeping the pressure on. He knows he has his guy hurt. He's throwing combinations behind combinations, steadily trying to land that big right hand again. There it was. The referee at this point had about seen enough, and he jumps in and calls it a halt.
And Alvarado looked like he was looking for the referee to maybe issue a count, and Rios just stopped in and continued the pummeling. The official time of the stoppage here is Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you love boxing, you had to love what just took place in this ring here tonight. After 6.5 rounds of perhaps the greatest fighting you will ever see, it finally comes to an end. 157, round 7, the winner by TKO victory, still undefeated, from Oxnard, California, Brandon
Number 31, but a win unlike any other. His 22nd stoppage as Alvarado loses for the first time. Let's take a look at the final numbers of Brandon Rios and Mike Alvarado in what was a classic. And we'll start with the total punches. Alvarado averaged throwing 111 punches per round. Rios landed at a higher percentage, 161 of 541. Take a look at the power punches in this fight. Rios averaged throwing 62 power punches per round, landed 20 a round. Alvarado averaged 60 punches in the power category, landed 18 per round for 31%. Let's take a look at the punch zone numbers. And the punches landed on Rios to the left, 142 to the body, 33 to the head. Excuse me, 33 to the body, 142 to the head. And the punches on the right landed on Alvarado, and you see that Rios just attacked the head with the left and right combinations in his 161 connects. Well, what a fight it was. Bam Bam gets another win. He's with Max Kellerman.
I went out there, turned around.
Brandon, congratulations on a fight that lived up to the hype.
It wasn't a fight. It's great promoters and great managers. That's what lived up to the fight.
Two pretty terrific fighters in there, too.
Oh, yeah. No, get me wrong. Mike Alvarado's a warrior. I told him I was going to come out victorious. I was ready for it.
You said that you wanted the kind of fight that tested your will. You wanted to see how far you could go. What was this fight? Was that this fight?
I think I could go a little bit longer, a little bit more. Whoever's next. Mike Alvarado hits hard, but I think I'm ready. He chased my chin. I handled it. I'm ready for the next guy.
Did he have you at any point in the fight thinking that maybe you got to hold on to him, maybe getting in there with him on the inside isn't a great idea?
Hell no. I'm a warrior. And I let him get that little advantage. I let him think that he hurts me. Then he got me all night. So hell no. I'm a warrior. I go forward and I keep doing my game.
Did he hurt you at any time?
He got me a little stunned, but you know what? I didn't show it, and I was ready to go on.
When you hurt him, you started reaching him with the right hand. Were you aware, hey, let me keep throwing this right hand, or were you just in the heat of battle? Here's the right hand.
Oh, beautiful. That was beautiful. No, I knew
he had that style, you know, he was doing like that. So I would try to throw my jab. It was hard to get him with my jab because he was doing that. So you know what? I had to go over right hand. We practiced that in the gym. We practiced that over and over. And I figured I would get him out like that, and I got him good. And I had him hurt.
He's a big, strong junior welterweight. Was there a difference that you felt hitting him and hitting the lightweights?
See how long it took me to get him out there with those hard shots? That shows you. But you know what? I have power. I told you that followed me up to 140 or followed me up to 147. I just have power to take me a little longer.
What did you think of the stoppage? Do you think the fight was going to be stopped when it was?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, maybe the referee should get a little bit more time because, you know, he's a warrior. It's always a warrior like to go out a little bit more. He likes to fucking, nah, hell no, you got to knock me down to end me. So, you know what? The referee, but that's the referee's job. But you know what? I give tip my hat off to Mike because he took a hell of a shot and he's a warrior.
Brandon, your name has been floated in connection to the winner of the Pacquiao-Marquez fight. Tell me about how you feel about fighting a fighter of that caliber.
You see what happened to Mike Alvarado? I think I can do it to them too. Mike Alvarado, I think he hits harder than him. He's a more tougher Pacquiao in and out guy. But you know what? Like I always do, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. taught me very well. Break the body, the head will fall down.
Finally, there are plenty of fights at the junior welterweight division, including the one against the winner of Pacquiao-Marquez. But at some point, do you see the two of you getting back in the ring and doing that again?
Hey, you know what? Right now, the fans, you want it? Do you want it? If they want it, I want it, my manager want it, fuck it, let's do it again.
Mike, congratulations on a sensational fight. Your game plan seemed to be working, fighting behind the jab. Tell me about what you experienced through the first 6 rounds.
I was still warming up in there. I kind of got whaled into a slugging match with Brandon, but I don't know, the fight went the way it had to go, you know. I went in there to fight my fight, but, I mean, just it is what it is. If the fight just turned out the way it did.
He admitted that you hurt him at a certain point. Did he ever hurt you until the time of the stoppage?
He shook me up a little bit, but, I mean, I thought that was stopped a little too early, so I could have kept going. I would have got my head back and fought through it.
Were you surprised by the stoppage? You were against the ropes. He was teeing off.
Yeah, I was surprised about it. I mean, it was only a couple shots, but, I mean, I'm still a warrior. I'm still the best in my weight, so we can do it again if he wants to. I'm ready.
Mike, congratulations on a tremendous fight. Hope to see you again soon.
Thank you.
Well, Brandon Rios, a winner as he stops Mike Alvarado. The judges' scorecards, 2 of the judges had it even. 1 judge had Rios ahead by 2 points in this fight. Very, very close fight. Pat Russell stepped in and stopped the bout in the 7th round. He's with Max Kellerman.
Pat, a tremendous back-and-forth fight, and certainly no one wants to see a fighter get hurt. But tell me what you were thinking at the moment of the stoppage.
Well, I hope the fans enjoyed this as much as I did. What a fight. But it was brutal. The whole thing was brutal. I gave him 6 opportunities, which we had discussed in the dressing room. You've got to show me something when you're on the route defenseless. And I thought he was defenseless, and I don't want to see him get hurt. And I stopped that fight.
Let's look at the end of the fight. Tell me what you see.
Well, there's the right hands. He's connecting with everything. And watch his head snap back. That's an acceleration-deceleration injury right there.
I was a little bit surprised because I never saw his arms drop as though he wasn't in control of his facilities, of his faculties.
He had absolutely no defense for any of those punches, man. And when you don't have a defense, I can't prevent them for you. All I can do is just prevent it by calling a fight.
Is there extra pressure on a referee in a fight like this that's so great to not step in because the fans are getting their money's worth at that point?
I don't think there's a fan out there, and there's not a referee that I know that wants to see a fighter get permanently hurt. I want to take him out in deep water, but I do not want to drown him.
Thanks, Pat. Appreciate it. Bob?